Good evening. My name is Wahid Qureshi, and you are watching my channel Centuries Untold. Viewers, today's topic is this is another video with very interesting topic, a topic that I feel that should be addressed in the light of the current situation that's happening in Western and Southwest Asia, particularly between Pakistan and Afghanistan situation. My viewers, I'm going to make this video in English, this first video, and then I'm going to discuss the same topic in Urdu. So you have both options available. So let's start this topic. Today's topic is, can Pakistan fight on two fronts, a two-front war, with India on the eastern side and with Afghanistan on the western side, if that situation arises, of course. Can Pakistan fight on two fronts? Not only fight, but can defend itself and also be able to defeat both sides. So that is the question. That's the topic today. So we will discuss some of the key points for Pakistan in order to achieve this goal, which is a very important goal. And so I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to spend 40, 30, 50 minutes discussing that. It's going to be very quick, roughly 20 minutes long video. But I will come straight to the points. All right, so first question that one might think, why this topic, right? Why is there any need for this topic? I believe one should discuss this possibility. Because again, the situation that's happening with Pakistan's eastern border with India, which is actually in grip of control of a fascist regime. And then, unfortunately, on our Pakistan's western border, which is also in grip of another extreme group, a religious intolerance group known as Taliban. So Pakistan actually is in the middle of two extreme religious intolerance countries and their governments. Okay, one is Hindu fascist government that we already know what they have done, what they are doing. And second one is Afghanistan, which is under the grip of another radical extremist people, which are basically wrecking their country over there in Afghanistan. Okay, and in the middle of this, Pakistan stands as a country that is neither extreme in their religious views, or because of their extreme religious views of both eastern and western fronts of Pakistan, Pakistan maintains a very balanced, stable, moderate outlook for everybody, for its citizens and for outside world. So really, if you really pay attention, if you really look at that area, you will find Pakistan with all its economic problems, issues, political some issues, right? But in generally speaking, Pakistan is a beacon of hope in that part of the world, where two nations, two countries, India and Afghanistan, are controlled by religious ideology, which is intolerant, fascist, and does not, tolerate other minorities, basically. So Pakistan is a beacon of hope in the middle of that, and trying to maintain that status within its borders. So yes, this topic is important from that perspective, because what happened in May of this year, in 2025, when India basically, did a false flag operation and accused Pakistan and tried to do some strikes inside Pakistan, which Pakistan obviously responded. And India was military defeated, not just defeated, military defeated. There was only one loser, one winner in that May 2025 war, which is India was a loser, Pakistan was a winner, military sense. Okay. Now, what happened? Afghanistan Taliban, right? Which Pakistan at some point thought are their friends, their brothers in religion, right? They turned out to be another group of people, obviously, which with their extreme intolerance ideology, they turned out to be not friendly with Pakistan at all. Why? Because Pakistan, as you know, viewers, for the last 20 years has suffered and still suffering from this terrorism that's coming across the border from Afghanistan into Pakistan, and then on its eastern front, the Indian government, Indian intelligence agencies are also sponsoring, terrorist outfits inside Pakistan. So Pakistan has suffered a lot, and there is a documented proof of that. There's no question about it. Now the Afghanistan Taliban are basically behaving in the same way. Why? So what happens? Because of the Taliban, there's a lot of offshoots of Taliban, right? There's one offshoot particularly that is called, I think it's called Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, TTP, right? So what is this TTP? TTP is basically the other side of the coin. They are Pakistani Talibans, basically. Okay? Same ideology as their cousins have in Afghanistan. Same mindset, same intolerance attitude, same way of dealing with a country, with the government. And so basically what they have done, they have made a safe havens inside Afghanistan. Okay? And then from there they launch a terrorism inside Pakistan. They do terrorism inside Pakistan and they go back to Afghanistan, where their cousins, the Afghan Pashtun Taliban, give them protection, sanctuaries, lodging, money, everything. And indirectly, from there, the Indian fascist government, they fund them, those Taliban, so that they can keep engaging Pakistan, right? So behind the scene is India, obviously. We know that. There's no secret about that. Viewers, in my last video where I said Afghan Taliban a constant headache for Pakistan, right? What to do with Afghanistan. I'm sure you have watched my video. But this video, I'm going to taking next step, right? Like Pakistan is constant, in spite of all these peace talks, everything, Afghan Taliban are not willing to stop these terrorist outfits inside their country to come inside Pakistan and launch terrorism for the citizens of Pakistan. So they're not agreeing to that. So basically they're saying we are going to continue with this terrorism inside Pakistan. We're not going to stop anyone. So yeah, that's fine. Pakistan has told them that we will stop in that case, which Pakistan has been doing for the last 2.5 months, right? There may be some pause along the way, but Pakistan is going to continue with that. So the question is now, what happens in a scenario where India tried to do another adventure with Pakistan? Now, because Taliban also are shaking hands with India, and let's say they also launch some kind of terrorism, some kind of guerrilla warfare from Afghanistan. So that means under this situation, Pakistan is facing two fronts, right? So how we deal with that? How Pakistan will deal with that? So in my opinion, viewers, there's an easy way to do that. First, let me answer this question. Can Pakistan sustain those two front attacks? One from India, one from these Taliban's Afghan. The short answer to my viewers is yes. Pakistan has the capability, Pakistan has the means, sources, manpower, technology, intelligence, and the most above all, they are willing to do this, a determination to do this. Okay? So make no doubt about that. So if that happens, if India misadventures, thinking that Afghanistan Taliban will also do the same thing on that front, and we can crush Pakistan into two. Yeah, I mean into in the middle. That is a very foolish thinking on either side of India or Afghanistan. Okay. We were talking about some facts, right? What normally happens when a country is actually attacked on on two fronts? What happens normally? How you deal with this? Obviously, you have to bring the country, the nation, the people on board with you, first of all. So the people are ready to face this, right? That's number one, obviously. And that is the job of the government, media, everybody's job. That the country is united. Secondly, we have to think from a strategical point of view, right? Tactical point of view. How are we going to do this? On one front, Eastern Front, you have an enemy which has a larger army, larger air force, things like that, which really does not matter to Pakistan. Pakistan has shown them in May. It doesn't matter. But still, for argument, right? Afghanistan does not have air force, does not have a navy, does not have a standing army. All they have on their disposal is two things. One, a terrorism. They can conduct some suicidals inside Pakistan cities. Secondly, they can conduct some kind of weird guerrilla warfare, which they think they can still do it in this new century with the 1980s, 70s mindset. So what Pakistan would have to do if that happens, not only to defend itself, but also to defeat both of them. Let me start with India first. Pakistan can very easily, very well contain India with air and ground forces attack. Bulk of its forces obviously would need on Eastern Front. All the way from Kashmir to Punjab to Sindh, everywhere. And Pakistan should rely on its air force, its latest missile technology to contain India. Okay? Use a very heavy-handed approach if that happens. Or the way should be, in my opinion, that there are tangible proof the damage that Pakistan had or will inflict on the eastern border. Very tangible proof. Nobody could deny it. So again, on the eastern front, you have to use your tactical, your strategy wise, and put your resources there. Rely on air force. Rely on missile technology. Rely on new developed drones, and then aided by the ground forces. So India would not be able to do anything much than that. Would they try the Navy? Yeah, they may try the Navy, but Pakistan Navy, guess what? Pakistan Navy is no longer the Navy of 1975. We're talking about 2025. Pakistan Navy has progressed tremendously, and it can sustain Indian Navy. So strategy-wise, okay, logistic-wise, and some tacticals approach will be, I think, sufficient to contain India on the Eastern Front. And obviously, I'm not advocating any nuclear option. Okay? Keep in mind, I'm not saying that. But the threat, a deterrence, a threat should always be there. Not necessarily that they should use it, but threat should be there. Okay? That's how you're going to contain this fascist enemy of the country, the nation of Pakistan. Okay, so that's how India should be contained. Second part, let's move to Afghanistan. Now, Afghanistan situation, like I said, they don't have navy. Obviously, they're a landlocked country. They don't have air force. obviously, if they don't have Air Force, they don't have any other missiles, anything like that. All they have a terrorism cross border into Pakistan and some 1970s, 80s guerrilla warfare tactics, which are not applicable at this point. So what Pakistan has to do on the Western Front is more as I would say is more as a tactical and logistic approach. Keep in mind the distance on your eastern border versus western border. There's a distance, right? So you should be able to create a units like a light but heavy mobile units that can be transferred rapidly from eastern front to western front, western front to eastern front, from north to south, with a rapid speed. Speed will be very important to maneuver those troops if needed, because that sometime you may need that to transfer some units like with rapid force. Okay, so you need to create that. If you already don't have it, then you need to have that force that can rapidly move around, not only to fight but also to provide logistic and tactical support. Okay, so back to Afghanistan side. So you in Afghanistan you would need to use a different tactics, like I said, logistic wise and tactical approach. Okay, Pakistan would have a free hand, which it has already shown in the last 2 months, to strike inside Afghanistan with its air force, with its missiles, anywhere in the country of that country. There's no problem with that. Okay, there's no problem with that. And then anything on the ground, like I said, tactical, right? So what's the tactical approach? The tactical approach would be, in that case, Pakistan can easily overrun the Afghanistan side checkposts, right? Those what you call military checkposts. And you can create a buffer there, 20, 30 miles radius buffer. As I mentioned in my last video, you create that buffer, you put your posts over there inside Afghanistan as a buffer. And from there you launch further attacks and contain those Talibans. Okay? My viewers, keep in mind, if that scenario happens, Pakistan must and should take the Wakhan corridor in my back. You should control that Wakhan corridor. Absolutely. That's vital that Pakistan control that during this situation. Okay? So in Afghanistan, that would be the approach. A constant barrage of, air strikes inside, with creating a buffer inside Afghanistan to contain them there. But with Afghanistan, I would also add, you continue negotiations with them. Okay? Have some room for negotiation with them. Try to convince them this is not in their favor. They cannot win this war with Pakistan. Okay? So they need to come to the table. The only thing that Pakistan is asking, that you stop those terrorists, TTP or whatever other groups, operating from your land inside Pakistan. That's all Pakistan is saying. And also, there's a part 2 of it. The part 2 of that is also stop India meddling in your affair, telling you what to do against Pakistan. Don't listen to India. And don't let them create any base or any unnecessary, land access inside. Pakistan will not tolerate that. That would not happen. Afghanistan cannot give any base or air base or any military base inside Afghanistan to India. That cannot happen. Pakistan will not allow this. They need to understand, Afghani people and all those people need to understand this basic, simple fact. Okay? If they need a peace, if they want to have it free trade from Pakistan, through Pakistan, So that's how Pakistan can basically logistically, tactically contain Afghanistan while, strategically and also tactically and logistically contain India on the eastern side. So I believe Pakistan can do that. It has the capability to handle those two countries. Okay? The difference I said with when you are dealing with Afghanistan, when you are basically containing those Talibans, you keep the door open for negotiation with them. Maybe they will come to their senses and keep the international pressure on them. Pressure from China, probably from United States and other Islamic countries. Okay? Keep the door open so they understand it's not in their interest. Otherwise, there will be a regime change or the possibility of regime change. That's maybe the ultimate solution for Pakistan. But on the Indian side, there's no room for negotiation. Okay, that is not an enemy that you can negotiate with. Negotiation may happen eventually. Every war ends with a negotiation, with the peace talks. There will be no negotiation with India. There only will be peace talks. You see the difference? Negotiation and peace talk. You can do negotiation with Afghanistan, provided the Afghanistan Taliban would not let TTP or other terrorist organizations and Indian sponsored groups to attack inside Pakistan. You can negotiate with them and put the international pressures on them. But on the eastern front with India, there's no negotiation. There will be a peace talk. Yes, there will be peace talk. Over there will be peace talk only after Pakistan not only contain them, but caused substantial damage to them. They will not think. They will think like 100 times before they do any other misadventure with Pakistan. So there will be peace talk with India only after India comes to its senses and on their needs. That's the difference. Because that, my view, that is the country, that is the enemy that does not understand any other language, unfortunately. I have some good Indian friends. I don't hate Indian people. I don't. Some I have good friends. But unfortunately, their government is behaving totally like ridiculous. Their media is totally unprofessional, full of lies. We've seen that what happened in 2025 in May. Okay? They're still lying to their people. So India is a different story. And Pakistan knows how to handle them. Okay? So again, negotiation is possible with Afghanistan. No negotiation with the Indian government at the time of war, only peace talks. And the peace talk will only happen after India suffered a military defeat. That's it. You go with the position of strength, not with a position of weakness. That's unfortunately would happen in the future, near future, if that happens, if those two countries try to misadventure with Pakistan. No one should take Pakistan as a weak country. No one should consider Pakistan's current economic situation as some other instability, as a sign of weakness. It's not. When it comes to those countries, Pakistani public, military and government, they're on the same page. Because it's their country you're talking about. Okay? So I hope, my viewers, this scenario, this topic, that can Pakistan fight on two fronts war, and not only fight and defend and defeat. I have explained that to you. Hopefully, this will give you some insight. But I hope that scenario will not happen, because Pakistan does not want a war. It's a peace-loving country. Pakistan does not want a war. But if that is imposed on her, yeah, that will be answered to both. Thank you for watching my video, and good night, and Pakistan Zindabad.